6.19.1. Atharva 6.19.1. Yo jagara tam ruchaha. Yo jagara tam ruchaha kamayante. Tam ruchaha kamayante. Yo jagara tam ruchaha kamayante.
ಚಟ್ನಿ ಹಚ್ಚಿಟ್ಟು
ನೀರು ಇನ್ನೊಂಚೂರು ಹಾಕು. ಇನ್ನೊಂಚೂರು ಹಾಕು. ತಮ್ ರುಚಃ ಕಾಮಯಂತೆ. ಕಾಮಯಂತೆ means kama means to like. Ruchah, it means all the Vedas put together. All the Vedas put together. Sometimes it's also considers only Rig Veda. It's also considers all the Vedas put together. If I go a step further, it is knowledge, true knowledge. That is Ruchaha. Jagara, Jagr Nidrakshaye. Jagr Nidrakshaye. Nidrakshaye means to be awake. Jagra means to be awake. Nidra is sleep. Kshaya means not. That is a state of no sleep. That is to be awake. That is known as Jagara. Jagra Nidrakshaye. And from that only we have got the word Jagarne. Kannadadalli Jagarne anta bandide. You have heard of Jagarna. That is Nidrakshaya, where we don't sleep. Now this says, Yo Jagara, one who is awake, alert, conscious, observant, all those things will come. Yo Jagara, tam ruchaha kamayante, knowledge likes him. Knowledge likes him who is not sleepy, who is alert and observant and is after knowledge. A person who is lethargic and sleepy, okay, the knowledge will go upon his head. You don't get in. Tam ruchaha kamayante. Whom? Yo jagara, he who is alert. So it holds good for everyone who is after knowledge. So anyone who is after knowledge has to be awake and alert. Only then he will be able to gain knowledge. The person is sleepy, not alert, not observant, definitely he cannot gain knowledge. It's as simple as that. And please observe, not only this, every piece of mantra what I have told you so far, they are all universal in nature. You cannot restrict it to any one caste, creed, race, nationality or any one time. They are all universal truths, holds good for everyone at all times, at all places. We can verify all what I have told you. This is also like that. If a person wants knowledge, he has to be observant, he has to work for it. He has to labor for it. He should be alert. If he is not alert, knowledge is not his. As simple as that. Yo jagara tam richaha. You will barile. So what's it? Now, that Jagara, that is to be alert and awake, is not just a state of sleep, but it includes whatever is known to be practiced, and we get the real knowledge. Real knowledge is not just theoretical, it is theoretical plus practical. Only will understand the theory and put it to practice, the knowledge becomes complete. So the alertness gets extended, not just to listen, not just to read, but also to put into practice and observe what happens. What we hear may be fine, but when you put into practice, things may be different. So it is listening with care, understanding it, and putting it to practice and observing the results. Up to that, it is Jagara. And he gets the right knowledge, and he will have hold over the knowledge. Yo Jagara tam rucha kamayante. Knowledge likes him. It's a figurative way of speaking. Knowledge like him means he will be benefited with that knowledge. Next one. Rashtram. Rashtram Suviram Vardhayami. Rashtram Suviram Vardhayami. Atharva 3.19.5. Atharva 3.19.5. Rashtram Suviram Vardhayami. Now here, in the Vedic context, one very important thing we have to understand. In the common parlance, Rashtra means nation, any country. Maybe India, maybe China, maybe USA, maybe Australia, something like that. These nations are demarcated by man-made lines, man-made boundaries. Vedas never call these as Rashtra. For Veda, Rashtra is the whole globe. There is only one Rashtra, that is the globe. The whole earth is considered as one Rashtra. And it doesn't recognize the man-made boundaries. The reason is very simple. Say something happens in one part of the world, that is in one nation, the impact will be on other nations. So that is the reality. Say for example, a river is flowing. So the boundary of a nation comes. Now what will happen to the river? Will the river say, okay, my boundary has come, I will stop here? No. It flows further. So for a river, for air, for good air, maybe for polluted air, there is no restriction of these man-made boundaries. Whatever happens affects the whole globe. Say there is globe warming. Maybe the cause is somewhere, but the impact is on the whole globe. So this is the broad vision that Vedas have, and they say Rashtra, it means the whole globe. We should not get confused. Of course, we use the word Rashtra for nation. That is in Sanskrit. But in Vedas, in the Vedic language, it means the whole globe. Rashtra is the whole globe. Rajr Deeptau is the root. Rajr Deeptau. Rajr Deeptau. That which shines. Deepti is to shine. That which shines is called as the Rashtra, and it's the whole globe. Then, Vardhayami, Vridh Vardhane. Vridh Vardhane. It means to make it grow. To develop, to improve. Vardhayami, that is first person singular. First person singular, Vardhayami. Suviram, to make it strong, to make it peaceful, to make it worth living. Okay, they are all the meaning for that Suviram. Sorry. So it is, every person takes a vow that I am the citizen of this universe, I am the citizen of this globe, and as a citizen of the world, I shall contribute my might to the well-being of the world. It's a duty of every citizen of the world. Our faith is not in just one nation, it is in the whole globe. So as a citizen of the world, I shall contribute my might to the well-being of the world. And make it a better place to live for me and other fellow beings. If this is understood by every person, and if every person identifies oneself with the whole globe, yes, it will become a good place to live in. If I am selfish and if my allegiance is with any one particular nation, I am not bothered about what happens to the other nation. But any untoward thing on the globe affects the whole globe is a reality. This you have to understand. So our contribution to the world has to be positive only, and I have to be a good citizen of the whole world. World citizenship is a very good concept. Even today, those who are working for world peace think about it in that way. But the concept is as old as the Vedas. So the whole problem is in not practicing it. The theory is wonderful. So if everyone feels it and practices it to the best extent possible, yes, the world is a different world tomorrow. Rashtram Suviram Vardhayami. Other things are known very easily. How do you improve it? How do you develop it? It's not the development of science and technology as we understand it today. Because whatever science is there, whatever technology is there, ultimately the basic natural resources are the base for it. So whenever I say improvement, whenever I say development, it is protecting the natural resources throughout the globe not polluting them, not exploiting them, but using them properly in small proportions and carry on our life. Our burden on natural resources has to be as little as possible, and our contribution should be to protect and improvise, protect and develop the natural resources. That's real Vardhana. Exploiting it, converting it into gadgets is a burden on the natural resources. There we are not improving it, we are not developing it. On the contrary, we are depleting it. So developing is different from depleting. So those clarities are there in his Rashtam Suviram Vardhayami, and this I am telling not based on only this piece of mantra, but several other mantras which are complementary to this, that we will be seeing later. Vardhana means protecting the natural resources, not polluting them, not abusing them, not misusing them, but using them properly in very small proportions, so that it will not get depleted but develop them. If for that sake if it is required to forsake, say, some of the technologies, some of the gadgets, yes, we do it in the larger interest. If I don't do it, temporarily it gives benefit. It gives benefit to one section of the globe, but other people on the globe, they'll all be troubled. It's happening. It's happening. And as we all know, this happening is resulting in global problems. Global warming is a global problem. Air pollution is a global problem. The hole in the ozone layer is a global problem. Many such global problems are there to tackle, but we don't know how to tackle. Because if it is beneficial to one part of the globe, the other part of the globe suffers. But if you consider Rashtra as a whole globe,
Our field there.
Asti?
what happened?
Asti.
So Rashtam Suviram Vardhayami is a wonderful goal for every human being, irrespective of to which nation they belong to. So the broad perspective is essential to tackle global problems. Global problems have to be solved with global perspectives. Very simple. Next one. Vayam Bhagavantaha Syama. Vayam Bhagavantaha Syama. Bhaga iti Aishwarya Nama. Bhaga iti Aishwarya Nama. So wealth is called as Bhaga. Vayam Bhagavantaha Syama. Atharva 9.10.20. Atharva 9.10.20. Vayam Bhagavantaha Syama. Bhaga iti Aishwarya Nama. So we shall become wealthy. That's very simple. We shall become wealthy. One misconception is there that Vedas preach renunciation. It says this life is temporary, live this is an illusion. So you go to some hilly place, do tapas, go to a secluded place. Yes, please. You wanted to say something? Somebody? So it speaks of renunciation, vairagya. It's a common misconception I got about Vedas. No, Vedas tell us to live well in the present, in this world, and upon it, develop spiritually. Upon it, grow spiritually. It never says us to renounce this world. That's a very important thing. For that, I have told you one thing. Once again, you can take it. Ma chitta, under quotation I am giving. Ma chitta asmat lokat. Ma chitta asmat lokat. Ma chitta asmat lokat. Atharva 8.1.4. Atharva 8.1.4. Ma chitta asmat lokat. Don't sever yourself from this world. Don't sever yourself from this world. To be precise, from this mundane world. Spiritual progress cannot happen on its own. It needs a base. And that base is a mundane life. Now the beauty of it we have to understand. Mundane life is not the end. And spiritual life cannot exist without base. The base is the mundane life, but mundane life is not the end. Upon it we have to build our spiritual life. There is a beautiful, harmonious relationship between mundane and spiritual. But what happens generally is, people become too mundane and materialistic and they forget about building the spiritual structure. And we do have people who say this mundane life is illusion. They want to build the spiritual life without base. That's also not right, this also not right. We should have a base and upon it build it. The base is the mundane life and the building is the spiritual life. And that's where we have to live in. So this beautiful harmony between the mundane and the spiritual is given in the Vedas, and this speaks about that mundane part of it. Vayam bhagavantaha syama. We shall become rich, we shall become wealthy. But of course we have discussed sufficiently that becoming wealthy is not by hook or crook. We have to take the pious path. We have to take the just path. And only then we can be wealthy. We have to work for it and in the right way gain wealth. That we have discussed sufficiently. So the balancing point we have to understand. Vedas are not against wealth, but they are against wrong means of gaining wealth. Wealth is fine. Gaining wealth is excellent, but it should happen in the right way. Vayam bhagavantaha syama. Here that right means is not there in this piece of mantra, but you find it elsewhere. So that we have to take along with this, which is complementary, and the final result is we shall become wealthy through right means. That through right means is bracket in this, but the other mantras is spelled out very clearly. That we have to gain wealth in the right way. Vayam bhagavantaha syama. Now another one, which is complementary to this, we have discussed, I'll just repeat it. Vayam syama. Vayam syama. Patayo Rayinam. Vayam Syama Patayo Rayinam. Ray is wealth again. Patayaha, masters. Vayam Syama Patayo Rayinam, we shall become masters of wealth. Vayam Syama Patayo Rayinam. We shall become masters of wealth. Only when we earn wealth in the right means, yes, we become masters of wealth. If you earn wealth by hook or crook, by any means, then we are slaves to wealth. It says very clearly that we have to be masters of wealth. Patayaha Rayina. It's not against wealth. It says we shall become masters of wealth. Let the wealth be under our control. Let us not be under the control of wealth. Now, if you observe carefully, in the present day context, most of the time, most of the people have become slaves to wealth. Corruption is rampant in one way or the other. In some places, we find corruption at the lower levels. In some places, we find corruption in the higher levels. Lower levels, people are honest. And in some places, we find lower and higher, everywhere it is corruption and corruption. That is, we have become slaves to wealth. We are not bothered what happens to our fellow beings. I want wealth, I gain wealth. Over. The impact of the means, we forget about it. But this reminds us that, okay, fine, getting wealth is excellent. We are not against it, but get it through right means. Goal is very good. The path also has to be very good. Vayam Syama Patayo Rayina. This is Yajurveda 19.44.
Yajurveda
19.44. This is a unique feature I have been telling. You see, the earlier piece of mantra was from Atharva. Vayam Bhagavantah Syama. Vayam Syama Patayo Rayinam. This is from Yajurveda. And both are complementary to one another. One is from Yajurveda, one is from Atharveda. And when you study both side by side, we understand both well. They are complementary to one another. So this whole Veda is one box of knowledge, one bundle of knowledge. For convenience sake, yes, that differentiation has been done as Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharveda. But Veda is one. And these four we can consider as four different chapters of the one single Veda. That's why this complementary thing we observe. They are not different. There is no airtight compartment between the four. It's all one bundle of knowledge. This is one point we have to observe. Second one, there is no contradiction whatsoever, but we have got complementary statements. This is one example. Complementary. Vayam Bhagavantah Syama, Vayam Syama Patayo Rayinam. Absolutely the same thing. One is from Atharva, one is from Yajurveda. Now this I am stressing because this is a unique feature of the Vedas. Whereas other different source of knowledge we have got. Generally recognized as religious texts. This is not a religious text, this is a constitution of mankind is different. But we do have different religious texts, and many consider them as their guide, as their proof, as their teacher. And those religious texts, they do have lot of contradictions in them. When time permits, we shall refer or we shall see some of them. And because of that contradiction, they fail to be absolute proofs for us. They fail to be authentic because of contradiction. Whereas you don't have even a single contradiction in the whole of Vedas, and that's why we say what is said in Vedas are authentic and is apaurushaya, given by Vedas. Proofs like this, we have got ample proofs. Anyhow, as we go on studying, we'll come across them one by one. This is one which is side by side I have given. Vayam Bhagavantah Syama, Vayam Syama Patayo Rayinam. Next one. Vachaspatihi. Vachaspatihi. Vacham. Vachaspatihi. Vacham.
Hello, namaste everyone.
Namaste. Vachaspatihi. Vacham Naha.
Is someone recording today's session?
We started a little early because there could be power
I'm
failure
not able
here.
to hear you. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, I am able to hear you. What about you? Other people, they are able to hear. Hello?
Yes.
Okay, I can.
You are able to hear? Vacham Naha Swadatu. Swadatu. That is the swada. Swada is pleasant, tasty, palatable. You can use any word. Swadatu. Pleasing, attractive, anything. Swadatu. Swada. Swada is referred to a good taste related to tongue. But that is an upalakshana. I have told you what upalakshana is. Upalakshana is representative. A set is represented by one word. So swadatu is to make it pleasing, to be palatable. Vacham, what we speak, what we utter, what we talk. Let it be pleasant, peaceful, tasty, attractive, receivable by others. And prayer, we are making it to Vachaspati. Vachaspati is Sachidananda. Sachidananda is the master of all our words, language, expressions. So he is the master. So we are praying, Vachaspatihi, O God, O Sachidananda, please make our words also as sweet as possible. Let our words be sweet. Swada is that sweet, pleasing, pleasant. Expression through language, which is multidimensional, is one great boon to mankind. Of course, animals do communicate, they do have their languages, but it's all limited in nature. But the expression that a human being has is so wide, so wide. So it is a unique feature. Vacha or walk or to talk is a unique feature of the mankind. and through it we communicate, through it we express. And this has to be as sweet as possible, as smooth as possible, as lovely as possible. Because we know a person who can speak sweetly, who can speak pleasantly, has no enemies. Everyone will like him. How sweetly the person speaks, how wonderfully the person speaks. And that influences everyone to be in good books with every other. So is it enough if you speak sweetly? No. Of course, speaking sweetly is essential, but mere sweet talk is not sufficient. It should have different other qualities also. That's not there in this mantra. Yajurveda 30.1. This is the one. Vachaspati Vacham Naha Swadatu. Yajurveda 30.1. It has got other dimensions which you get elsewhere. The first quality is whatever we talk has to be true, satyam. It has to be true. Just because it is sweet, I cannot go on lying. Lies will be sweeter. But no, I am not supposed to lie. I have to speak only truth. So that is the first one, Satya. The next one is, whatever truth I speak has to be sweet. But not, but not every truth is sweet. We do have truth which are bitter. So what I should do? Should I speak that bitter truth or not? And that's always a difficult situation where we have to take a decision. The decision is, truth has to be spoken. If it is bitter, I should make it as sweet as possible. But just because it is bitter, I should not stop speaking truth. There is one Sanskrit Subhashitam where they misinterpret it. Satyam bruyat priyam bruyat. Na bruyat satyam apriyam. So they interpret as, if the satya is bitter, don't speak it. Don't utter. That's not the meaning. The meaning is, even though the truth is bitter, make it as sweet as possible and utter truth only. Don't speak it out in a bitter way. That's the meaning of it. Nabruyat satyam apriyam means, don't speak it in the bitter way, make it as sweet as possible. There is one English quotation, it says, if you ask a person to go to hell, you should say it so sweetly that you should plan to go in the next vacation. Got it? If you ask a person to go to hell, it should be so sweet that you should plan to go to hell next vacation, the next vacation. So sweet you should speak, even though it's bitter. That's what it means. Nabruya satyam apriyam is that. So the first parameter is truth. The second parameter is sweet. Then the next one is mita. Mita is brevity. As little as possible. We should convey as little in as little words as possible. We should not go on elaborating and make it a big issue. No. What you want to say it on the dot. Don't beat about the bush. Satyam, Priyam, Mitam, and then Hitam. another parameter, hitam. Hitam means it should bestow on the speaker as well as the listener good things. It should benefit. It should not be just loose talk. It should be talk which is pregnant with force, which will benefit everyone. That is known as hita. Satya, Priya, Mita, Hita. Say some thought comes to our mind. Now this thought, we convert it into talk. Between the two things, there is a thought coming and the uttering of the word. We have to filter that thought through these four sieves. Sieves, you know? Jardi. Sieve means, say that we used to sieve the floor. FLU or floor. So before using it, we just sieve it and the dirt we throw it out and what comes down we use it. So that sieving has to be done, and one Veda mantra specifically speaks about this sieve only. Saktum titavuna punantaha. That I will take it once in a separate class. Saktum titavuna punantaha. Saktu means the flower. Saktumiva titavuna punanta. That titavuna is that sieve. So as we sieve the flower, in the same way, before talking, the words have to be sieved and only then we have to utter. And if we speak in such a way, yes, we will be able to win over the hearts of anyone. In Kannada there is a proverb, maybe it will be there in different other languages also. In Kannada we say, Maatu ballavanige jagalavilla. That Shanti Madam has understood Kannada. The meaning is this: if a person speaks sweetly, no quarrels will be there. We can lead a quarrel-less, quarrel-free life if our words are sweet and smooth. Madhura, that's the word. That is nothing but swadatu. Vachaspatihi vacham naha swadatu. Yajurveda 30.1. So our prayer to God is always to make us alert when we are speaking. Right way of speaking is not automatic. Right way of speaking is deliberate. We should be cautious and alert and check every word we utter. Then the words, finally what comes out, takes the form of sound, will be sweet and smooth and tasty and pleasing. And that builds up the good rapport between people. Every one of us will be able to live together happily without any quarrels. Because our words are sweet and smooth and we intend it. It's not just a drama. It's not just we speak good words, but what we have in us is something else. No. We should have good feelings in us and the same should be expressed smoothly. Say some bitter truths will come, okay, we'll make it as smooth as possible and communicate. Vachaspatihi vacham naha swadatu.
Sharma ji.
Yes, please.
I didn't fully understand the quality of hitam.
Hitam is that which benefits. That which benefits. ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ಯಾವುದು ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು ಶಾಂತಿ ಮೇಡಮ್? That is beneficial.
Yeah, beneficial is the best meaning, Sharma ji.
ಅಸ್ತು ಮಹೋದಯ.
ಇದು ತಟ್ಟೆ ತಗೋ.
ಆಯ್ತಾ ಪಾಠ?
ಇನ್ನಾಗ್ತದೆ. Next, Visham. This is a smaller Sha, not Visha. Visha, Shankara Sha. Visham, Maghava, Paryashayata. Visham, Maghava, Paryashayata. Maghava, Magha iti Aishwarya Nama. Magha iti Aishwarya Nama. Maghava is that Sachidananda, the richest. The Sachidananda, that is the richest, Maghava, Paryashayata. That is Shing Shaye. Kaka, Shing Shaye. Shaye means to stay, to exist, to settle. So Maghava Paryashayata. Sachidananda is in everything. That everything is shown by that Visham. Visha Praveshane. So Satchidananda has entered everything and has settled. That means that Satchidananda is omnipresent. We need not go in search of it. It's already there. So that Satchidananda is omnipresent, it's everywhere. It has entered everything. So it's not that it is entering now. It has entered, it is there always, and it has no beginning, it has no end. It is omnipresent. Omnipresent is the quality of Satchidananda. This we have noted already. The other two entities, that is Satchit and Sat, they are not omnipresent. Some places they are there, some places they are not there. But the one which is omnipresent is a Satchidananda. It has entered everything. We need not go in search of it. Wherever we are, we can realize it. Next one.
Sharma ji.
Vishwayuhu.
Sharma ji.
Yes, please.
One question. Visham, what does it mean?
Visha Praveshane. It has entered. Visha Praveshane. From that only we get the other word Vaishya. Vaishya is called Vaishya because he enters every territory, he enters every place and will have the commercial activity. So he is called as a Vaishya. So the basic root is Visha Praveshane. As far as God is concerned, Satchidananda is concerned, he has entered every nook and corner of the universe. Visham, every nook and corner. One nook is Visham, corner is another Visham. Visham. The style is the same, nook and corner we will say. Here instead of nook and corner we say Visham. So he has pervaded. Pervade means to be there. Entered. Occupied. Cover. So the Satchidananda has pervaded every nook and corner. You don't find a place where it is not there. It's there everywhere. That's omnipresence.
So to say
Visham, Visham.
to say
Ah.
to say everywhere, every place, we can say Visham Visham Asti.
Maghava nasti. Maghava is Satchidananda.
Asti.
Maghava is Satchidananda. Maghava Visham Paryashayeta. The Satchidananda in every nook and corner has pervaded.
Astu, sir.
Nook and corner is Visham.
Astu.
Next one.
This mantra is...
Vishwa is who? Yes, please.
Sorry, this mantra is what, Sharmaji? Where is it? Visham Maghava.
Visham. Atharva 20.17.6.
Astu, dhanyavad.
20.17.6. Next one. Vishwayuhu Dhehi Akshitam. Vishwayuhu Dhehi Akshitam. Vishwayur Dhehi Akshitam. You can make it one word. Vishwayur Dhehi Akshitam. Rigveda 1.9.7. Vishwayur Dhehi Akshitam.
Where is it again, Sharmaji?
Rigveda 1.9.7. First mandala, 9th sukta, 7th mantra. Dhehi, instill in us. Dehi is just give. Dehi, I have told you, give us the power to hold it and give it. Dehi is just give it. Whether the capacity is there to hold it or not is not considered in Dehi. But in Dehi, where Dha is Mahaprana, you find out whether I have the capacity or not. If I don't have the capacity, first give me that capacity and then give what I want. That is Dehi. Akshitam means that which is complete in itself. Akshitam is that which has got some scarcity, some lacuna, some gap. Akshitam is the opposite. Akshitam is complete in all respects. Vishwayuhu. Ayuhu means span of life, which is complete in itself. So please bestow on me that span of life which is full in itself. That is, we are praying for a complete span of life, the maximum that is possible, to live long. This we have discussed several times. Every moment that we have has to be used for our spiritual upliftment, and spiritual upliftment can be achieved only when we are in human form and there is no other opportunity. So it's a rare opportunity we have got, and every moment we have to make use of it. I don't have a moment which I can waste on quarreling, which I can waste on anger, which I cannot waste on jealousy. No, I don't have time. Every moment is precious. So every moment that's available to me, I want to use it for the development and improvement and progress of the soul, of the Satchit. I can't waste my time on silly things. And let every moment of my life be useful, and let such moments be as maximum as possible, as full as possible, and let my span be as long as possible, span of life. So this is a force what you find in this mantra, Rigveda 1.9.7. Let the span be as long as possible. Let me have as many moments as possible, and that shall be best utilized for the progress of the soul, for the improvement of the soul, for the purification of the soul, for the strengthening of the soul. Because it's a rare opportunity. If I leave this opportunity, I cannot do it in any other form of life. It's only in human form I can do it. Because the human apparatus is geared up to do this. Vishwayurdhe yakshitam. Next one, Vratam Krunuta. That's all. Vratam Krunuta. Yajurveda 4.11. Yajurveda 4.11. Vratam Krunuta. Okay, we shall discuss about it. Some of it we have discussed already about this Vrata, what it means. So let us once again reiterate and recapitulate what we have discussed under this in the coming session. So, thank you very much.
Sharmaji,
Yes, please.
I have one question.
Please.
In the one says like spiritual base, what the spiritual base, without the spiritual base we cannot uplift. What is that one? How can you express that one?
Express the?
The spiritual cannot exist without base. What is the base?
Yes. The base is the mundane life, materialistic life.
So we should be away
So
from that.
for doing spiritual pursuits, we have to exist. If I have to exist, my food, clothing, shelter aspect has to be taken care of. That food, clothing and shelter is the base. That's a materialistic thing. But food, clothing, shelter is not the end of life. Because what you do is generally, okay, food I have got for the day, but I preserve some food for tomorrow, for day after tomorrow, for my old age. So my maximum time is consumed in collecting my food or developing my shelter. Okay, for me, how big a house I need? Okay, if it's a 10 by 10 room, that's more than sufficient for one person. But I want to have a very big bungalow, very big lawn, so many things. That's I'm concentrating most of my energy in building up the shelter part of it, beyond what is required. But Vedas say, okay, you require shelter, I am not denying it. Have as simple a shelter as possible, and the balanced time and energy and time, you use it for your spiritual development. So that is the base, spiritual development is the building. But if I spend all my life in gaining my food, clothing and shelter and my luxuries and material things, you are wasting a rare opportunity what you have got to improve your Satchit, to improve your soul, to develop or strengthen or purify your soul. Please don't do it. But without this also you cannot do it. You cannot teach philosophy to an empty stomach. If the stomach is empty, first it has to be taken care of. Then philosophy, then spirituality and other things. I cannot teach, I cannot say spirituality to an empty stomach. So to make the stomach full is a basic requirement. Do it, but filling the stomach itself is not the whole life. So there's a difference between the two. So make the base strong and stop at that and concentrate on the spiritual aspect of it. That's a balance. One is the base, another one is the building. Without base, building cannot be built. And just go on building the base and building is not built also is foolish. So you have to balance the two. Mundane is also required, spirituality is also required. Mundane to a certain level, the basic minimum level, stop at that, reorient yourself towards developing the spirit, the purification of the spirit, the purification of the soul, the strengthening of the soul, all that we have to do. Basic things are taken care. We don't worry about it. So this is a balance that we have to find. And that's what the Veda mantra says. Ubhayatra te artham. You can note down. Ubhayatra te artham. Ubhayatra te artham. I'll give the exact location a bit, 1 second. Ubhayatra te artham. It means your goal is twofold. Your goal is twofold. And you have to concentrate on both. Just a minute. Not phone barte nodu. Okay, I'll search and give you. Take that quotation. Ubhayatra te artham. Ubhayatra te artham. Artha is the goal. Your goal is Ubhayatra. Has to be on both. You cannot leave anyone. Both goals are convergent and both goals are complementary to one another, and both goals you have to keep in mind. So one is the base, another one is the building. One is the physical and materialistic world. Another one is the spiritual thing. Both are complementary to one another. We have to concentrate on both. We cannot leave spirituality and be materialistic, or I cannot leave materialistic thing and fully be spiritual. No, it's a combination of both. It's a balance between the two. So that quotation, the exact location I will give you. Ubhayatra te artham. That you can note down. Okay.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Good night. We will see tomorrow. This location I will give you tomorrow.
Sure.